Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter. Beyoncé, born September 4, 1981, is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. Beyoncé's boundary-pushing artistry and vocals have made her the most influential female musician of the 21st century, according to NPR. Her success has led to her becoming a cultural icon and earning her the nickname Queen Bey. Beyoncé performed in various singing and dancing competitions as a child. She rose to fame in the late 1990s as a member of the R&B girl group Destiny's Child, one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Their hiatus saw the release of her debut album Dangerously in Love, which featured the US Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles Crazy in Love and Baby Boy. Following the 2006 disbanding of Destiny's Child, Beyoncé released her second solo album, B-Day, which contained singles Irreplaceable and Beautiful Liar. Beyoncé also starred in multiple films such as The Pink Panther, Dreamgirls, Obsessed, and The Lion King. Her marriage to Jay-Z and her portrayal of Etta James in Cadillac Records influenced her third album, I Am Sasha Fierce, which earned a record-setting 6 Grammy Awards in 2010. It spawned the successful singles If I Were a Boy, Single Ladies, and Halo. After professionally splitting from her manager and father Matthew Knowles in 2010, she released her musically diverse fourth album 4 in 2011. Beyoncé later achieved universal acclaim for her sonically experimental visual albums, Beyoncé and Lemonade, the latter of which was the world's best-selling album of 2016 and the most acclaimed album of her career, exploring themes of infidelity, feminism, womanism. In 2018, she released Everything Is Love, a collaborative album with her husband, Jay-Z, as the Carters. As a featured artist, Beyoncé topped the Billboard Hot 100 with the remixes of Perfect by Ed Sheeran in 2017 and Savage by Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. The same year, she released the musical film Black is King with an accompanying visual album, with praise from critics. In 2022, Beyoncé received further critical acclaim for her seventh studio album End, Renaissance, which experimented with disco and house music, and paid homage to LGBTQ and ball culture. She obtained her first solo #1 since 2008 with the album's lead single, Break My Soul, with Renaissance being her first solo studio album since 2016. She is one of the world's best-selling recording artists, having sold over 200 million records worldwide. Her success during the 2000s was recognized with the Recording Industry Association of America's Top Certified Artist of the Decade as well as Billboard's Top Female Artist of the Decade. She is the first solo artist to have their first 7 studio albums debut at #1 on the Billboard 200. Beyoncé's accolades include 28 Grammy Awards, 26 MTV Video Music Awards, 24 NAACP Image Awards, 31 BET Awards, and 17 Soul Train Music Awards, all of which are more than any other singer. In 2014, Billboard named her the highest-earning black musician of all time, while in 2020, she was included on Time's list of 100 women who defined the last century. Life and career. 1981–1996, early life and career beginnings. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born on September 4, 1981, in Houston, Texas, to Celestine Tina Knowles, a hairdresser and salon owner, and Matthew Knowles, a Xerox sales manager. Tina is Louisiana Creole, and Matthew is African American. Beyoncé's younger sister, Solange Knowles, is also a singer and a former backup dancer for Destiny's Child. Solange and Beyoncé are the first sisters to have both had #1 albums. Beyoncé's maternal grandparents, Loomis Beyoncé and Agnès Duran, were French-speaking Louisiana Creoles, with roots in New Iberia. Beyoncé is considered a Creole, passed on to her by her grandparents. Through her mother, Beyoncé is a descendant of many French aristocrats from the southwest of France, including the family of the Viscounts de Béarn since the 9th century, and the Viscounts de Belzunce. She is also a descendant of Jean-Vincent d'Abbadie de Saint-Castin, a French military officer in North America who became an Abenaki chief, and Acadian militia officer Joseph Broussard, who was exiled to French Louisiana after the expulsion of the Acadians. Her fourth great-grandmother, Marie-Françoise Tréhun, was born in 1774 in Bangor, located on Belle Isle, France. Tréhun was a daughter of Acadians who had taken refuge on Belle Isle after the Acadian expulsion. The Estates of Brittany had divided the lands of Belle Isle to distribute them among 78 other Acadian families and the already settled inhabitants. The Tréhun family lived on Belle Isle for over 10 years before immigrating to Louisiana, where she married a Broussard descendant. Beyoncé researched her ancestry and discovered that she is descended from a slave owner who married his slave. Her mother is also of distant Jewish, Spanish, Chinese, and Indonesian ancestry. Beyoncé was raised Catholic and attended St. Mary's Montessori School in Houston, where she enrolled in dance classes. Her singing was discovered when dance instructor Darlette Johnson began humming a song and she finished it, able to hit the high-pitched notes. Beyoncé's interest in music and performing continued after winning a school talent show at age 7, singing John Lennon's Imagine to beat 15-16-year-olds. In the fall of 1990, Beyoncé enrolled in Parker Elementary School, a music magnet school in Houston, where she would perform with the school's choir. She also attended the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts and later Alif Elsik High School. Beyoncé was also a member of the choir at St. John's United Methodist Church as a soloist for 2 years. When Beyoncé was 8, she met LaTavia Roberson at an audition for an all-girl entertainment group. They were placed into a group called Girls Time with 3 other girls, and rapped and danced on the talent show circuit in Houston. After seeing the group, R&B producer Arnie Frager brought them to his Northern California studio and placed them in Star Search, the largest talent show on national TV at the time. Girls Time failed to win, and Beyoncé later said the song they performed was not good. In 1995, Beyoncé's father resigned from his job to manage the group. The move reduced Beyoncé's family's income by half, and her parents were forced to sell their house and cars and move into separated apartments. Matthew cut the original line-up to 4 and the group continued performing as an opening act for other established R&B girl groups. The girls auditioned before record labels and were finally signed to Elektra Records, moving to Atlanta Records briefly to work on their first recording, only to be cut by the company. This put further strain on the family, and Beyoncé's parents separated. On October 5, 1995, Dwayne Wiggins's Grassroots Entertainment signed the group. In 1996, the girls began recording their debut album under an agreement with Sony Music. The Knowles family reunited, and shortly after, the group got a contract with Columbia Records. 1997–2002, Destiny's Child. The group changed their name to Destiny's Child in 1996, based upon a passage in the Book of Isaiah. In 1997, Destiny's Child released their major label debut song Killing Time on the soundtrack to the 1997 film Men in Black. In November, the group released their debut single and first major hit, No, No, No. They released their self-titled debut album in February 1998, which established the group as a viable act in the music industry, with moderate sales and winning the group 3 Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards for Best R&B/Soul Album of the Year, Best R&B/Soul or Rap New Artist, and Best R&B/Soul Single for No, No, No. The group released their multi-platinum second album The Writings on the Wall in 1999. The record features some of the group's most widely known songs such as Bills, 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 the group's first #1 single, Jumpin' Jumpin' and Say My Name, which became their most successful song at the time, and would remain one of their signature songs. Say My Name won the Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals and the Best R&B Song at the 43rd Annual Grammy Awards. The Writings on the Wall sold more than 8 million copies worldwide. During this time, Beyoncé recorded a duet with Mark Nelson, an original member of Boyz II Men, on the song After All Is Said and Done for the soundtrack to the 1999 film. The best man LaToya Luckett and Roberson became unhappy with Matthews' managing of the band and eventually were replaced by Farrah Franklin and Michelle Williams. Beyoncé experienced depression following the split with Luckett and Roberson after being publicly blamed by the media, critics, and blogs for its cause. Her long-standing boyfriend left her at this time. The depression was so severe it lasted for a couple of years, during which she occasionally kept herself in her bedroom for days and refused to eat anything. Beyoncé stated that she struggled to speak about her depression because Destiny's Child had just won their first Grammy Award, and she feared no one would take her seriously. Beyoncé would later speak of her mother as the person who helped her fight it. Franklin was then dismissed, leaving just Beyoncé, Rowland, and Williams. The remaining band members recorded Independent Women Part I, which appeared on the soundtrack to the 2000 film Charlie's Angels. It became their best charting single, topping the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart for 11 consecutive weeks. In early 2001, while Destiny's Child was completing their third album, Beyoncé landed a major role in the MTV made-for-television film, Carmen, a hip opera, starring alongside American actor Mekhi Phifer. Set in Philadelphia, the film is a modern interpretation of the 19th-century opera Carmen by French composer Georges Bizet. When the third album Survivor was released in May 2001, Luckett and Roberson filed a lawsuit claiming that the songs were aimed at them. The album debuted at #1 on the U.S. Billboard 200, with first-week sales of 663,000 copies sold. The album spawned other #1 hits, Bootylicious and the title track, Survivor, the latter of which earned the group a Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. After releasing their holiday album 8 Days of Christmas in October 2001, the group announced a hiatus to further pursue solo careers. In July 2002, Beyoncé made her theatrical film debut, playing Foxy Cleopatra alongside Mike Myers in the comedy film Austin Powers in Goldmember, which spent its first weekend atop the U.S. box office and grossed $73 million. Beyoncé released Work It Out as the lead single from its soundtrack album, which entered the top 10 in the UK, Norway, and Belgium. In 2003, Beyoncé starred opposite Cuba Gooding, Jr., in the musical comedy The Fighting Temptations as Lily, a single mother with whom Gooding's character falls in love. The film received mixed reviews from critics but grossed $30 million in the US. Beyoncé released Fighting Temptation as the lead single from the film's soundtrack album, with Missy Elliott, MC Lyte, and Free, which was also used to promote the film. Another of Beyoncé's contributions to the soundtrack, Summertime, fared better on the U.S. charts. 2003-2005, I Dangerously in Love / and I Destiny Fulfilled / I. None. 2006-2007, I Be Day / I and I Dream Girl / I. None. 2008-2010, IIAM. Sasha Fierce / I. None. 2011-2013, I4 / I and Super Bowl / I Halftime Show. None. 2013-2015, I Beyoncé / I. None. 2016-2018, I Lemonade / I and I Everything Is Love / I. None. 2019-2021, I Homecoming / I The Lion King / I and I Black is King / I. None. 2022, I Renaissance/I. None. Artistry. Voice and musical style. Beyoncé's voice type is classified as coloratura mezzo-soprano. Jody Rosen highlights her tone and timbre as particularly distinctive, describing her voice as one of the most compelling instruments in popular music. Her vocal abilities mean she is identified as the centerpiece of Destiny's Child. John Perrells of the New York Times commented that her voice is velvety yet tart, with an insistent flutter and reserves of soul belting. Rosen notes that the hip-hop era highly influenced Beyoncé's unique rhythmic vocal style, but also finds her quite traditionalist in her use of balladry, gospel, and falsetto. Other critics praise her range and power, with Chris Richards of The Washington Post saying she was capable of punctuating any beat with goosebump-inducing whispers or full-bore diva roars. Beyoncé's music is generally R&B, pop, and hip-hop, but she also incorporates soul and funk into her songs. 4 demonstrated Beyoncé's exploration of 1990s style R&B, as well as further use of soul and hip-hop than compared to previous releases. While she almost exclusively releases English songs, Beyoncé recorded several Spanish songs for Irreemplazable, and the re-release of B-Day. To record these, Beyoncé was coached phonetically by American record producer Rudy Perez. Songwriter. Beyoncé has received CO writing credits for most of her songs. In regards to the way she approaches collaborative songwriter, Beyoncé explained, "I love being around great writers because I'm finding that a lot of the things I want to say, I don't articulate as good as maybe Amanda Ghost. So I want to keep collaborating with writers, and I love classics and I want to make sure years from now the song is still something that's relevant." Her early songs with Destiny's Child were personally driven and female empowerment themed compositions like Independent Women and Survivor, but after the start of her relationship with Jay-Z, she transitioned to more man-tending anthems such as Cater to You. In 2001, she became the first black woman and second female lyricist to win the Pop Songwriter of the Year award at the ASCAP Pop Music Awards. Beyoncé was the third woman to have writing credits on 3 #1 songs in the same year, after Carole King in 1971 and Mariah Carey in 1991. She is tied with American lyricist Diane Warren at third with 9 songwriter credits on #1 singles. The latter wrote her 9/11 motivated song I Was Here for 4. In May 2011, Billboard magazine listed Beyoncé at number 17 on their list of the top 20 Hot 100 songwriters for having co-written 8 singles that hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. She was one of only 3 women on that list, along with Alicia Keys and Taylor Swift. Influences. Beyoncé names Michael Jackson as her major musical influence. Aged 5, Beyoncé attended her first ever concert where Jackson performed and she claims to have realized her purpose. When she presented him with a tribute award at the World Music Awards in 2006, Beyoncé said, "If it wasn't for Michael Jackson, I would never ever have performed." Beyoncé was heavily influenced by Tina Turner, who she said, "Tina Turner is someone that I admire, because she made her strength feminine and sexy." She admires Diana Ross as an all-around entertainer, and Whitney Houston, who she said inspired me to get up there and do what she did. Beyoncé cited Madonna as an influence not only for her musical style, but also for her business sense, saying that she wanted to follow in the footsteps of Madonna and be a powerhouse and have my own empire. She also credits Mariah Carey's singing and her song Vision of Love as influencing her to begin practicing vocal runs as a child. Her other musical influences include Prince, Shakira, Lauryn Hill, Sada Adu, Donna Summer, Mary J. Blige, Anita Baker, and Toni Braxton. The feminism and female empowerment themes on Beyoncé's second solo album B-Day were inspired by her role in Dreamgirls and by singer Josephine Baker. Beyoncé paid homage to Baker by performing Deja Vu at the 2006 Fashion Rocks concert wearing Baker's trademark mini hula skirt embellished with fake bananas. Beyoncé's third solo album, I Am Sasha Fierce, was inspired by Jay-Z and especially by Etta James, whose boldness inspired Beyoncé to explore other musical genres and styles. Her fourth solo album, 4, was inspired by Fela Kuti, 1990s R&B, Earth, Wind and Fire, DeBarge, Lionel Richie, Tina Marie, The Jackson 5, New Edition, Adele, Florence and the Machine, and Prince. Beyoncé has stated that she is personally inspired by Michelle Obama, saying she proves you can do it all, and has described Oprah Winfrey as the definition of inspiration and a strong woman. She has also discussed how Jay-Z is a continuing inspiration to her, both with what she describes as his lyrical genius and in the obstacles he has overcome in his life. Beyoncé has expressed admiration for the artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, posting in a letter, "What I find in the work of Jean-Michel Basquiat, I search for in every day in music. He is lyrical and raw." Beyoncé also cited Cher as a fashion inspiration. Music videos and stage. In 2006, Beyoncé introduced her all-female tour band Sugar Mama, which includes bassists, drummers, guitarists, horn players, keyboardists, and percussionists. Her background singers, the Mamas, consist of Montina Cooper Donnell, Crystal Collins, and Tiffany Monique Riddick. They made their debut appearance at the 2006 BET Awards and reappeared in the music videos for Irreplaceable and Green Light. The band have supported Beyoncé in most subsequent live performances, including her 2007 concert tour The Beyoncé Experience, I Am World Tour, the Mrs. Carter Show World Tour and the Formation World Tour. Beyoncé has received praise for her stage presence and voice during live performances. Jared Wise-Elman of the New York Post placed her at number 1 on her list of the 5 best singers/dancers. According to Barbara Ellen of The Guardian, Beyoncé is the most in-charge female artist she's seen on stage, while Alice Jones of The Independent wrote she takes her role as entertainer so seriously she's almost too good. The ex-president of Def Jam L.A. Reid has described Beyoncé as the greatest entertainer alive. Jim Farber of the Daily News and Stephanie Klassen of the Star Phoenix both praised her strong voice and her stage presence. Beyoncé's stage outfits have been met with criticism from many countries, such as Malaysia, where she has postponed or cancelled performances due to the country's strict laws banning revealing costumes. Beyoncé has worked with numerous directors for her music videos throughout her career, including Melina Matsoukas, Jonas Akerlund, and Jake Nava. Bill Condon, director of Beauty and the Beast, stated that the Lemonade visuals in particular served as inspiration for his film, commenting, "You look at Beyoncé's brilliant movie Lemonade, this genre is taking on so many different forms. I do think that this very old school breakout into song traditional musical is something that people understand again and really want." Alter ego. Described as being sexy, seductive, and provocative when performing on stage, Beyoncé has said that she originally created the alter ego Sasha Fierce to keep that stage persona separate from who she really is. She described Sasha as being too aggressive, too strong, too sassy, too sexy, stating, "I'm not like her in real life at all." Sasha was conceived during the making of Crazy in Love, and Beyoncé introduced her with the release of her 2008 album, I Am Sasha Fierce. In February 2010, she announced in an interview with Allure magazine that she was comfortable enough with herself to no longer need Sasha Fierce. However, Beyoncé announced in May 2012 that she would bring her back for her Revel Presents Beyoncé live shows later that month. Public image. Beyoncé has been described as having a wide-ranging sex appeal, with music journalist Turi writing that since the release of Dangerously in Love, she has become a crossover sex symbol. Offstage, Beyoncé says that while she likes to dress sexily, her onstage dress is absolutely for the stage. Due to her curves and the term's catchiness, in the 2000s, the media often used the term bootylicious to describe Beyoncé, the term popularized by Destiny's Child's single of the same name. In 2006, it was added to the Oxford English Dictionary. In September 2010, Beyoncé made her runway modeling debut at Tom Ford's Spring/Summer 2011 fashion show. She was named the world's most beautiful woman by People and the hottest female singer of all time by Complex in 2012. In January 2013, GQ placed her on its cover, featuring her atop its 100 Sexiest Women of the 21st Century list. VH1 listed her at number 1 on its 100 Sexiest Artists list. Several wax figures of Beyoncé are found at Madame Tussauds wax museums in major cities around the world, including New York, Washington, D.C., Amsterdam, Bangkok, Hollywood, and Sydney. According to Italian fashion designer Roberto Cavalli, Beyoncé uses different fashion styles to work with her music while performing. Her mother Sia wrote a book, published in 2002, titled Destiny's Style, an account of how fashion affected the trio's success. The B-Day anthology video album showed many instances of fashion-oriented footage, depicting classic to contemporary wardrobe styles. In 2007, Beyoncé was featured on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, becoming the second African American woman after Tyra Banks, and People magazine recognized Beyoncé as the best-dressed celebrity. Beyoncé has been named Queen Bey from publications over the years. The term is a reference to the common phrase Queen Bee, a term used for the leader of a group of females. The nickname also refers to the queen of a beehive, with her fan base being named the Beyhive. The Beyhive was previously titled the Bee Entourage, but was changed after online petitions on Twitter and online news reports during competitions. The Beyhive has been named one of the most loyal and defensive fan bases and has achieved notoriety for being fiercely protective of Beyoncé. In 2006, the animal rights organization People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals criticized Beyoncé for wearing and using fur in her clothing line House of Duran. In 2011, she appeared on the cover of French fashion magazine Elle Officielle, in blackface and tribal makeup that drew criticism from the media. A statement released from a spokesperson for the magazine said that Beyoncé's look was far from the glamorous Sasha Fierce and that it was a return to her African roots. Beyoncé's lighter skin color and costuming has drawn criticism from some in the African American community. Emmett Price, a professor of music at Northeastern University, wrote in 2007 that he thinks race plays a role in many of these criticisms, saying white celebrities who dress similarly do not attract as many comments. In 2008, L'Oreal was accused of whitening her skin in their Feria hair color advertisements, responding that it is categorically untrue, and in 2013, Beyoncé herself criticized H&M for their proposed retouching of promotional images of her, and according to Vogue requested that only natural pictures be used. Beyoncé has been a vocal advocate for the Black Lives Matter movement. The release of Formation on February 6, 2016, saw her celebrate her heritage, with the song's music video featuring pro-black imagery and most notably a shot of wall graffiti that says "Stop Shooting Us." The day after the song's release, she performed it at the 2016 Super Bowl halftime show with backup dancers dressed to represent the Black Panther Party. This incited criticism from politicians and police officers, with some police boycotting Beyoncé's then upcoming Formation World Tour. Beyoncé responded to the backlash by releasing tour merchandise that said "Boycott Beyoncé," and later clarified her sentiment, saying, "Anyone who perceives my message as anti-police is completely mistaken. I have so much admiration and respect for officers and the families of officers who sacrifice themselves to keep us safe," Beyoncé said. But let's be clear, I am against police brutality and injustice. Those are two separate things. Personal life. Marriage and children. Beyoncé started a relationship with Jay-Z after their collaboration on '03 Bonnie and Clyde, which appeared on his seventh album The Blueprint 2, The Gift and the Curse. Beyoncé appeared as Jay-Z's girlfriend in the music video for the song, fueling speculation about their relationship. On April 4, 2008, Beyoncé and Jay-Z married without publicity. As of April 2014, the couple had sold a combined 300 million records together. They are known for their private relationship, although they have appeared to become more relaxed since 2013. Both have acknowledged difficulty that arose in their marriage after Jay-Z had an affair. Beyoncé miscarried around 2010 or 2011, describing it as the saddest thing she had ever endured. She returned to the studio and wrote music to cope with the loss. In April 2011, Beyoncé and Jay-Z traveled to Paris to shoot the album cover for 4, and she unexpectedly became pregnant in Paris. In August, the couple attended the 2011 MTV Video Music Awards, at which Beyoncé performed Love on Top and ended the performance by revealing she was pregnant. Her appearance helped that year's MTV Video Music Awards become the most watched broadcast in MTV history, pulling in 12.4 million viewers. The announcement was listed in Guinness World Records for most tweets per second recorded for a single event on Twitter, receiving 8,868 tweets per second, and Beyoncé pregnant was the most Googled phrase the week of August 29, 2011. On January 7, 2012, Beyoncé gave birth to a daughter, Blue Ivy, at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City. Following the release of Lemonade, which included the single Sorry, in 2016, speculations arose about Jay-Z's alleged infidelity with a mistress referred to as Becky. John Perrells in the New York Times pointed out that many of the accusations were aimed specifically and recognizably at him. Similarly, Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone magazine noted the lines "Suck on my balls, I've had enough" were an unmistakable hint that the lyrics revolve around Jay-Z. On February 1, 2017, she revealed on her Instagram account that she was expecting twins. Her announcement gained over 6.3 million likes within 8 hours, breaking the world record for the most liked image on the website at the time. On July 13, 2017, Beyoncé uploaded the first image of herself and the twins onto her Instagram account, confirming their birth date as a month prior, on June 13, 2017, with the post becoming the second most liked on Instagram, behind her own pregnancy announcement. The twins, a daughter named Rumi and a son named Sir, were born at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center in California. She wrote of her pregnancy and its aftermath in the September 2018 issue of Vogue, in which she had full control of the cover, shot at Hammerwood Park by photographer Tyler Mitchell. Activism. Beyoncé performed America the Beautiful at President Barack Obama's 2009 presidential inauguration, as well as at last during the first inaugural dance at the neighborhood ball 2 days later. The couple held a fundraiser at Jay-Z's 40/40ths Club in Manhattan for President Obama's 2012 presidential campaign, which raised $4 million. In the 2012 presidential election, the singer voted for President Obama. She performed the American national anthem "The Star-Spangled Banner" at his second inauguration in January 2013. The Washington Post reported in May 2015, that Beyoncé attended a major celebrity fundraiser for 2016 presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. She also headlined for Clinton in a concert held the weekend before Election Day the next year. In this performance, Beyoncé and her entourage of backup dancers wore pantsuits, a clear allusion to Clinton's frequent dress of choice. The backup dancers also wore "I'm with her" t-shirts, the campaign slogan for Clinton. In a brief speech at this performance, Beyoncé said, "I want my daughter to grow up seeing a woman lead our country and knowing that her possibilities are limitless." She endorsed the bid of Beto O'Rourke during the 2018 United States Senate election in Texas. In 2013, Beyoncé stated in an interview in Vogue that she considered herself to be a modern-day feminist. She would later align herself more publicly with the movement, sampling "We Should All Be Feminists," a speech delivered by Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie at a TEDx talk in April 2013, in her song Flawless, released later that year. The next year she performed live at the MTV Video Awards in front a giant backdrop reading "Feminist." Her self-identification incited a circulation of opinions and debate about whether her feminism is aligned with older, more established feminist ideals. Annie Lennox, celebrated artist and feminist advocate, referred to Beyoncé's use of her word feminist as feminist light. Bell Hooks critiqued Beyoncé, referring to her as a terrorist towards feminism, harmfully impacting her audience of young girls. Adichie responded with, "Her type of feminism is not mine, as it is the kind that, at the same time, gives quite a lot of space to the necessity of men." Adichie expands upon what feminist light means to her, referring that more troubling is the idea, in feminism light, that men are naturally superior but should be expected to treat women well, and we judge powerful women more harshly than we judge powerful men. And feminism light enables this. Beyoncé responded about her intent by utilizing the definition of feminist with her platform was to give clarity to the true meaning behind it. She says to understand what being a feminist is, it's very simple. It's someone who believes in equal rights for men and women. She advocated to provide equal opportunities for young boys and girls. Men and women must begin to understand the double standards that remain persistent in our societies, and the issue must be illuminated in effort to start making changes. She has also contributed to the Ban Bossy campaign, which uses TV and social media to encourage leadership in girls. Following Beyoncé's public identification as a feminist, the sexualized nature of her performances and the fact that she championed her marriage was questioned. In December 2012, Beyoncé along with a variety of other celebrities teamed up and produced a video campaign for Demand a Plan, a bipartisan effort by a group of 950 U.S. mayors and others designed to influence the federal government into rethinking its gun control laws, following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Beyoncé publicly endorsed same-sex marriage on March 26, 2013, after the Supreme Court debate on California's Proposition 8. She spoke against North Carolina's Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act, a bill passed that discriminated against the LGBT community in public places, in a statement during her concert in Raleigh as part of the Formation World Tour in 2016. She has also condemned police brutality against Black Americans. She and Jay-Z attended a rally in 2013 in response to the acquittal of George Zimmerman for the killing of Trayvon Martin. The film for her sixth album Lemonade included the mothers of Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and Eric Garner, holding pictures of their sons in the video for Freedom. In a 2016 interview with Elle, Beyoncé responded to the controversy surrounding her song Formation, which was perceived to be critical of the police. She clarified, "I am against police brutality and injustice. Those are two separate things. If celebrating my roots and culture during Black History Month made anyone uncomfortable, those feelings were there long before a video and long before me." In February 2017, Beyoncé spoke out against the withdrawal of protections for transgender students in public schools by Donald Trump's presidential administration. Posting a link to the 100 Days of Kindness campaign on her Facebook page, Beyoncé voiced her support for transgender youth and joined a roster of celebrities who spoke out against Trump's decision. In November 2017, Beyoncé presented Colin Kaepernick with the 2017 Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award, stating, "Thank you for your selfless heart and your conviction, thank you for your personal sacrifice, and that Colin took action with no fear of consequence. To change perception, to change the way we treat each other, especially people of color. We're still waiting for the world to catch up." Muhammad Ali was heavily penalized in his career for protesting the status quo of U.S. civil rights through opposition to the Vietnam War, by refusing to serve in the military. 40 years later, Kaepernick had already lost one professional year due to taking a much quieter and legal stand for people that are oppressed. Wealth. Forbes magazine began reporting on Beyoncé's earnings in 2008, calculating that the $80 million earned between June 2007 to June 2008, for her music, tour, films, and clothing line made her the world's best-paid music personality at the time, above Madonna and Celine Dion. It placed her fourth on the Celebrity 100 list in 2009. And ninth on the Most Powerful Women in the World list in 2010. The following year, the magazine placed her eighth on the Best Paid Celebrities Under 30 list, having earned $35 million in the past year for her clothing line and endorsement deals. In 2012, Forbes placed Beyoncé at number 16 on the Celebrity 100 list, 12 places lower than 3 years ago, yet still having earned $40 million in the past year for her album 4, clothing line and endorsement deals. In the same year, Beyoncé and Jay-Z placed at number 1 on the world's highest paid celebrity couples, for collectively earning $78 million. The couple made it into the previous year's Guinness World Records as the highest earning power couple for collectively earning $122 million in 2009. For the years 2009 to 2011, Beyoncé earned an average of $70 million per year, and earned $40 million in 2012. In 2013, Beyoncé's endorsements of Pepsi and H&M made her and Jay-Z the world's first billion-dollar couple in the music industry. That year, Beyoncé was published as the fourth most powerful celebrity in the Forbes rankings. MTV estimated that by the end of 2014, Beyoncé would become the highest-paid black musician in history. This became the case in April 2014. In June 2014, Beyoncé ranked at number 1 on the Forbes Celebrity 100 list, earning an estimated $115 million throughout June 2013–June 2014. This in turn was the first time she had topped the Celebrity 100 list, as well as being her highest yearly earnings to date. In 2016, Beyoncé ranked at number 34 on the Celebrity 100 list with earnings of $54 million. She and Jay-Z also topped the highest-paid celebrity couple list, with combined earnings of $107.5 million. As of 2018, Forbes calculated her net worth to be $355 million, and in June of the same year, ranked her as the 35th highest-earning celebrity with annual earnings of $60 million. This tied Beyoncé with Madonna as the only two female artists to earn more than $100 million within a single year twice. As a couple, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have a combined net worth of $1.16 billion. In July 2017, Billboard announced that Beyoncé was the highest-paid musician of 2016, with an estimated total of $62.1 million. Legacy. Beyoncé's success has led to her becoming a cultural icon and earning her the nickname Queen Bey. Constance Grady wrote for Vox, "The transformation of Beyoncé from well-liked pop star to cultural icon came in 3 phases, punctuated by the self-titled Beyoncé album of 2013, 2016's Lemonade, and 2018's Homecoming concert at Coachella." In The New Yorker, music critic Jody Rosen described Beyoncé as the most important and compelling popular musician of the 21st century. The result, the logical end point, of a century plus of pop. Author James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, draws a parallel between the singer's success and the dramatic transformations in modern society. In the last 100 years, we have seen the rise of the car, the airplane, the television, the personal computer, the internet, the smartphone, and Beyoncé. The Observer named her Artist of the Decade in 2009. Writing for Entertainment Weekly, Alex Suskind noticed how Beyoncé was the decade's defining pop star, stating that no one dominated music in the 2010s like Queen Bey, explaining that her songs, album rollouts, stage presence, social justice initiatives, and disruptive public relations strategy have influenced the way we've viewed music since 2010. British publication NME also shared similar thoughts on her impact in the 2010s, including Beyoncé on their list of the 10 artists who defined the decade. In 2018, Rolling Stone included her on its Millennial 100 list. Music critics have often credited Beyoncé with the invention of the staccato rap singing style that has since dominated pop, R&B, and rap music. Lakin Starling of The Fader wrote that Beyoncé's innovative implementation of the delivery style on Destiny's Child's 1999 album The Writings on the Wall invented a new form of R&B. Beyoncé's new style subsequently changed the nature of music, revolutionizing both singing in urban music and rapping in pop music, and becoming the dominant sound of both genres. The style helped to redefine both the breadth of commercial R&B and the sound of hip-hop, with artists such as Kanye West and Drake implementing Beyoncé's cadence in the late 2000s and early 2010s. The staccato rap singing style continued to be used in the music industry in the late 2010s and early 2020s. Aaron Williams of Uproxx described Beyoncé as the primary pioneer of the rapping style that dominates the music industry today, with many contemporary rappers implementing Beyoncé's rap singing. Michael Eric Dyson agrees, saying that Beyoncé changed the whole genre and has become the godmother of mumble rappers, who use the staccato rap singing cadence. Dyson added, "She doesn't get credit for the remarkable way in which she changed the musical vocabulary of contemporary art." Beyoncé has been credited with reviving the album as an art form in an era dominated by singles and streaming. This started with her 2011 album 4. While mainstream R&B artists were foregoing albums-led R&B in favor of singles-led EDM, Beyoncé aimed to place the focus back on albums as an art form and re-establish R&B as a mainstream concern. This remained a focus of Beyoncé's, and in 2013, she made her eponymous album only available to purchase as a full album on iTunes, rather than being able to purchase individual tracks or consume the album via streaming. Caitlin Menza of Marie Claire wrote that this made listeners experience the album as one whole sonic experience, the way people used to, noting the musical and lyrical themes. Jameson Cox for The Verge described how Beyoncé's 2013 album initiated a gradual trend of albums becoming more cohesive and self-referential, and this phenomenon reached its endpoint with Lemonade, which set a new standard for pop storytelling at the highest possible scale. Megan Carpentier of The Guardian wrote that with Lemonade, Beyoncé has almost revived the album format by releasing an album that can only be listened to in its entirety. MYF Warhurst on Double JS Lunch with MYF explained that while most artists' albums consist of a few singles plus filler songs, Beyoncé brought the album back, changing the art form of the album to a narrative with an arc and a story, and you have to listen to the entire thing to get the concept. She is known for coining popular phrases such as "put a ring on it," a euphemism for marriage proposal, "I woke up like this," which started a trend of posting morning selfies with the hashtag number "I woke up like these," and "boy, bye," which was used as part of the Democratic National Committee's campaign for the 2020 election. Similarly, she also came up with the phrase visual album following the release of her fifth studio album, which had a video for every song. This has been recreated by many other artists since, such as Frank Ocean and Melanie Martinez. The album also popularized surprise releases, with many artists releasing songs, videos, or albums with no prior announcement, such as Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Eminem, Frank Ocean, Jay-Z and Drake. In January 2012, research scientist Brian Lessard named Scaptia beyoncea, a species of horsefly found in northern Queensland, Australia after Beyoncé due to the fly's unique golden hairs on its abdomen. In 2018, the city of Columbia, South Carolina declared August 21 the Beyoncé Knowles-Carter Day in the city after presenting her with the keys to Columbia. Influence on other artists. Various recording artists and celebrities have cited Beyoncé as their influence. Lady Gaga explained how Beyoncé gave her the determination to become a musician, recalling seeing her in a Destiny's Child music video and saying, "Oh, she's a star. I want that." Rihanna was similarly inspired to start her singing career after watching Beyoncé, telling A Talk that after Beyoncé released Dangerously in Love, "I was like, wow, I want to be just like that. She's huge and just an inspiration." Lizzo was also first inspired by Beyoncé to start singing after watching her perform at a Destiny's Child concert. Lizzo also taught herself to sing by copying Beyoncé's B-Day. Similarly, Ariana Grande said she learned to sing by mimicking Beyoncé. Adele cited Beyoncé as her inspiration and favorite artist, telling Vogue, "She's been a huge and constant part of my life as an artist since I was about 10 or 11. I think she's really inspiring. She's beautiful. She's ridiculously talented, and she is one of the kindest people I've ever met. She makes me want to do things with my life." Both Paul McCartney and Garth Brooks said they watch Beyoncé's performances to get inspiration for their own shows, with Brooks saying that when watching one of her performances, "Take out your notebook and take notes. No matter how long you've been on the stage, take notes on that one." Other artists to cite influence from Beyoncé include Britney Spears, Little Mix, Sam Smith, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Anitta, Ava Max, Christina Aguilera, Dami Azealia Banks, Doja Cat, Kendrick Lamar, Keisha, Megan Thee Stallion, Normani, Camila Cabello, Dua Lipa, Jasmine Sullivan, Rosalia, SZA, Tinashe, Zara Larsson, Addison Rae, Alexandra Burke, Alexis Jordan, Amber Riley, Bebe Rexha, Brandy, Bridget Mendler, Chris Martin, Sierra, Demi Lovato, Ellie Goulding, Faith Hill, Fergie, Gal Gadot, Grimes, Gwyneth Paltrow, Haim, Harry Styles, Hayley Williams, J Balvin, Jess Jessie J, Jessie Ware, JoJo, Kelly Rowland, Kim Petras, Leona Lewis, Meghan Trainor, Miley Cyrus, Miranda Lambert, Nicole Scherzinger, One Direction, Rina Sawayama, Rita Ora, Rosalia, Selena Gomez, Stormzy, Seven Streeter, Tori Kelly, Whitney Houston, and Zendaya. Achievements. Beyoncé has received numerous awards, and is the most awarded female artist of all time. Having sold over 200 million records worldwide, Beyoncé is one of the best-selling music artists of all time. The Recording Industry Association of America listed Beyoncé as the top certified artist of the 2000s decade, with a total of 64 certifications. Her songs Single Ladies, Halo, and Irreplaceable are some of the best-selling singles of all time worldwide. In 2009, Billboard named her the top female artist and top radio songs artist of the decade. In 2010, Billboard named her in their top 50 R&B/hip-hop artists of the past 25 years list at number 15. In 2012, VH1 ranked her third on their list of the 100 greatest women in music, behind Mariah Carey and Madonna. In 2002, she received Songwriter of the Year from American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, becoming the first African American woman to win the award. In 2004 and 2019, she received NAACP Image Award for Entertainer of the Year and the Soul Train Music Award for Sammy Davis Jr. Entertainer of the Year. In 2005, she also received Apex Award at the Trumpet Award honoring achievements of Black African Americans. In 2007, Beyoncé received the International Artist of Excellence Award by the American Music Awards. She also received Honorary Otto at the Bravo Otto. The following year, she received the Legend Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Arts at the World Music Awards and Career Achievement Award at the LOS 40 Music Awards. In 2010, she received Award of Honor for Artist of the Decade at the NRJ Music Award and at the 2011 Billboard Music Awards. Beyoncé received the inaugural Billboard Millennium Award. Beyoncé received the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the 2014 MTV Video Music Awards and was honoured as Honorary Mother of the Year at the Australian Mother of the Year Award in Barbados, Australia for her humanitarian effort in the region, and the Council of Fashion Designers of America Fashion Icon Award in 2016. In 2019, alongside Jay-Z, she received GLAAD Vanguard Award that is presented to a member of the entertainment community who does not identify as LGBT but who has made a significant difference in promoting equal rights for LGBT people. In 2020, she was awarded the BET Humanitarian Award. Consequence of Sound named her the 30th best singer of all time. Beyoncé has won 28 Grammy Awards, both as a solo artist and member of Destiny's Child and the Carters, making her the most honored singer, male or female, by the Grammys. She is also the most nominated artist in Grammy Award history with a total of 79 nominations. Single Ladies won Song of the Year in 2010, while Say My Name, Crazy in Love and Drunk in Love have each won Best R&B Song. Dangerously in Love, B-Day, and I Am Sasha Fierce have all won Best Contemporary R&B Album, while Lemonade has won Best Urban Contemporary Album. Beyoncé set the record for the most Grammy Awards won by a female artist in one night in 2010 when she won 6 awards, breaking the tie she previously held with Alicia Keys, Norah Jones, Alison Krauss, and Amy Winehouse, with Adele equaling this in 2012. Beyoncé has won 29 MTV Video Music Awards, making her the most awarded artist in Video Music Award history. She won 2 awards each with the Carters and Destiny's Child, making her lifetime total of 29 VMAs. Single Ladies and Formation won Video of the Year in 2009 and 2016 respectively. Beyoncé tied the record set by Lady Gaga in 2010 for the most VMAs won in one night for a female artist with 8 in 2016. She is also the most awarded and nominated artist in BET Award history, winning 29 awards from a total of 60 nominations, the most awarded person at the Soul Train Music Awards with 17 awards as a solo artist, and the most awarded person at the NAACP Image Awards with 24 awards as a solo artist. Additionally, Beyoncé is the most awarded artist at the NAACP Image Awards with 22 awards, the BET Awards with 32 awards, and the Soul Train Music Awards with 21 awards. Following her role in Dreamgirls, Beyoncé was nominated for Best Original Song for Listen and Best Actress at the Golden Globe Awards, and Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture at the NAACP Image Awards. Beyoncé won 2 awards at the Broadcast Film Critics Association Awards 2006, Best Song for Listen and Best Original Soundtrack for Dreamgirls, Music from the Motion Picture. According to Fuse in 2014, Beyoncé is the second most award-winning artist of all time, after Michael Jackson. Lemonade won a Peabody Award in 2017. In 2022, Be Alive was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Song, the Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Song, and the Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. She was named on the 2016 BBC Radio 4 Woman's Hour Power list as one of 7 women judged to have had the biggest impact on women's lives over the past 70 years, alongside Margaret Thatcher, Barbara Castle, Helen Brooke, Germaine Greer, Jaya Bendesai, and Bridget Jones. She was named the most powerful woman in music on the same list in 2020. In the same year, Billboard named her with Destiny's Child the 3rd greatest music video artists of all time, behind Madonna and Michael Jackson. On June 16, 2021, Beyoncé was among several celebrities at the Pollstar Awards where she won the award of Top Touring Artist of the Decade. On June 17, 2021, Beyoncé was inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame as a member of the inaugural class. Business and Ventures. In 2010, Beyoncé founded her own entertainment company Parkwood Entertainment, which formed as an imprint based from Columbia Records. The company began as a production unit for videos and films in 2008. Parkwood Entertainment is named after a street in Houston, Texas where Beyoncé once lived. With headquarters in New York City, the company serves as an umbrella for the entertainer's various brands in music, movies, videos, and fashion. The staff of Parkwood Entertainment have experiences in arts and entertainment, from filmmaking and video production to web and fashion design. In addition to departments in marketing, digital, creative, publicity, fashion design and merchandising, the company houses a state-of-the-art editing suite, where Beyoncé works on content for her worldwide tours, music videos, and television specials. Parkwood Entertainment's first production was the musical biopic Cadillac Records, in which Beyoncé starred and co-produced. The company has also distributed Beyoncé's albums such as her self-titled 5th studio album, Lemonade, and The Carters, Everything Is Love. Beyoncé has also signed other artists to Parkwood such as Chloe X Halle, who performed at Super Bowl LIII in February 2019. Endorsements and partnerships. Beyoncé has worked with Pepsi since 2002, and in 2004 appeared in a Gladiator-themed commercial with Britney Spears, Pink, and Enrique Iglesias. In 2012, Beyoncé signed a $50 million deal to endorse Pepsi. The Center for Science in the Public Interest wrote Beyoncé an open letter asking her to reconsider the deal because of the unhealthiness of the product and to donate the proceeds to a medical organization. Nevertheless, NetBase found that Beyoncé's campaign was the most talked about endorsement in April 2013, with a 70% positive audience response to the commercial and print ads. Beyoncé has worked with Tommy Hilfiger for the fragrances True Star and True Star Gold. She also promoted Emporio Armani's Diamonds fragrance in 2007. Beyoncé launched her first official fragrance, Heat, in 2010. The commercial, which featured the 1956 song Fever, was shown after the watershed in the United Kingdom as it begins with an image of Beyoncé appearing to lie naked in a room. In February 2011, Beyoncé launched her second fragrance, Heat Rush. Beyoncé's third fragrance, Pulse, was launched in September 2011. In 2013, the Mrs. Carter Show limited edition version of Heat was released. The 6 editions of Heat are the world's best-selling celebrity fragrance line, with sales of over $400 million. The release of a video game Star Power, Beyoncé was cancelled after Beyoncé pulled out of a $100 million with Gate 5, who alleged the cancellation meant the sacking of 70 staff and millions of pounds lost in development. It was settled out of court by her lawyers in June 2013, who said that they had cancelled because Gate 5 had lost its financial backers. Beyoncé also has had deals with American Express, Nintendo DS, and L'Oreal since the age of 18. In March 2015, Beyoncé became a co-owner, with other artists, of the music streaming service Tidal. The service specializes in lossless audio and high-definition music videos. Beyoncé's husband Jay-Z acquired the parent company of Tidal, Aspiro, in the first quarter of 2015. Including Beyoncé and Jay-Z, 16 artist stakeholders co-own Tidal, with the majority owning a 3% equity stake. The idea of having an all-artist-owned streaming service was created by those involved to adapt to the increased demand for streaming within the current music industry. In November 2020, Beyoncé formed a multi-year partnership with exercise equipment and media company Peloton. The partnership was formed to celebrate homecoming season in historically Black colleges and universities, providing themed workout experiences inspired by Beyoncé's 2019 homecoming film and live album after 2020's homecoming celebrations were cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As part of the partnership, Beyoncé and Peloton are donating free memberships to all students at 10 HBCUs, and Peloton are pursuing long-term recruiting partnerships at the HCBUs. Gwen Bethel Riley, head of music at Peloton, said, "When we had conversations with Beyoncé around how critical a social impact component was to all of us, it crystallized how important it was to embrace homecoming as an opportunity to celebrate and create dialogue around Black culture and music, in partnership with HBCUs." Upon news of the partnership, a decline in Peloton's shares reversed, and its shares rose by 8.6%. In 2021, Beyoncé and Jay-Z partnered with Tiffany & Co. for the company's About Love campaign. Beyoncé became the fourth woman, and first Black woman, to wear the Tiffany Yellow Diamond. The campaign featured a robin egg blue painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat titled =Pie. Fashion lines. Beyoncé and her mother introduced House of Duran, a contemporary women's fashion line, in 2005. The concept is inspired by 3 generations of women in their family, with the name paying tribute to Beyoncé's grandmother, Agnès Duran, a respected seamstress. According to Tina, the overall style of the line best reflects her and Beyoncé's taste and style. Beyoncé and her mother founded their family's company Beyond Productions, which provides the licensing and brand management for House of Duran, and its junior collection, Duran. House of Duran pieces were exhibited in Destiny's Child's shows and tours, during their Destiny Fulfilled era. The collection features sportswear, denim offerings with fur, outerwear, and accessories that include handbags and footwear, and are available at department and specialty stores across the US and Canada. In 2005, Beyoncé teamed up with House of Brands, a shoe company, to produce a range of footwear for House of Duran. In January 2008, Starwave Mobile launched Beyoncé Fashion Diva, a high-style mobile game with a social networking component, featuring the House of Duran collection. In July 2009, Beyoncé and her mother launched a new junior apparel label, Sasha Fierce for Duran, for back-to-school selling. The collection included sportswear, outerwear, handbags, footwear, eyewear, lingerie and jewelry. It was available at department stores including Macy's and Dillard's, and specialty stores Jimmy Jazz and Against All Odds. On May 27, 2010, Beyoncé teamed up with clothing store C&A to launch Duran by Beyoncé at their stores in Brazil. The collection included tailored blazers with padded shoulders, little black dresses, embroidered tops, and shirts and bandage dresses. In October 2014, Beyoncé signed a deal to launch an activewear line of clothing with British fashion retailer Topshop. The 50/50 venture is called Ivy Park and was launched in April 2016. The brand's name is a nod to Beyoncé's daughter and her favorite number 4, and also references the park where she used to run in Texas. She has since bought out Topshop owner Philip Green from his 50% share after he was alleged to have sexually harassed, bullied, and racially abused employees. She now owns the brand herself. On April 4, 2019, it was announced that Beyoncé would become a creative partner with Adidas and further develop her athletic brand Ivy Park with the company. Knowles will also develop new clothes and footwear for Adidas. Shares for the company rose 1.3% upon the news release. On December 9, 2019, they announced a launch date of January 18, 2020. Beyoncé uploaded a teaser on her website and Instagram. The collection was also previewed on the upcoming January 2020 issue, where Beyoncé is seen wearing several garments, accessories, and footwear from the first collection. Philanthropy. In 2002, Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland and Tina Knowles built the Knowles-Rowland Center for Youth, a community center in downtown Houston. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, Beyoncé and Rowland founded the Survivor Foundation to provide transitional housing to displaced families and provide means for new building construction, to which Beyoncé contributed an initial $250,000. The foundation has since expanded to work with other charities in the city, and also provided relief following Hurricane Ike 3 years later. Beyoncé also donated $100,000 to the Gulf Coast Ike Relief Fund. In 2007, Beyoncé founded the Knowles Temenos Place Apartments, a housing complex offering living space for 43 displaced individuals. As of 2016, Beyoncé had donated $7 million for the maintenance of the complex. After starring in Cadillac Records in 2009 and learning about Phoenix House, a non-profit drug and alcohol rehabilitation organization, Beyoncé donated her full $4 million salary from the film to the organization. Beyoncé and her mother subsequently established the Beyoncé Cosmetology Center, which offers a 7-month cosmetology training course helping Phoenix House's clients gain career skills during their recovery. In January 2010, Beyoncé participated in George Clooney and Wyclef Jean's Hope for Haiti Now, a global benefit for earthquake relief telethon, donated a large sum to the organization, and was named the official face of the limited edition CFDA Fashion for Haiti t-shirt, made by Theory, which raised a total of $1 million. In April 2011, Beyoncé joined forces with U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama and the National Association of Broadcasters Education Foundation, to help boost the latter's campaign against child obesity by reworking her single Get Me Bodied. Following the death of Osama bin Laden, Beyoncé released her cover of the Lee Greenwood song God Bless the USA, as a charity single to help raise funds for the New York Police and Fire Widows and Children's Benefit Fund. Beyoncé became an ambassador for the 2012 World Humanitarian Day campaign, donating her song I Was Here and its music video, shot in the UN, to the campaign. In 2013, it was announced that Beyoncé would work with Salma Hayek and Frida Giannini on a Gucci Chime for Change campaign that aims to spread female empowerment. The campaign, which aired on February 28, was set to her new music. A concert for the cause took place on June 1, 2013, in London. With help of the crowdfunding platform Catapult, visitors of the concert could choose between several projects promoting education of women and girls. Beyoncé also took part in Miss a Meal, a food donation campaign, and supported Goodwill Industries through online charity auctions at Charity Buzz that support job creation throughout Europe and the U.S. Beyoncé and Jay-Z secretly donated tens of thousands of dollars to bail out Black Lives Matter protesters in Baltimore and Ferguson, as well as funded infrastructure for the establishment of Black Lives Matter chapters across the U.S. Before Beyoncé's Formation World Tour show in Tampa, her team held a private luncheon for more than 20 community leaders to discuss how Beyoncé could support local charitable initiatives, including pledging on the spot to fund 10 scholarships to provide students with financial aid. Tampa Sports Authority board member Thomas Scott said, "I don't know of a prior artist meeting with the community, seeing what their needs are, seeing how they can invest in the community. It says a lot to me about Beyoncé. She not only goes into a community and walks away with, but she also gives money back to that community. In June 2016, Beyoncé donated over $82,000 to the United Way of Genesee County to support victims of the Flint water crisis. Beyoncé additionally donated money to support 14 students in Michigan with their college expenses. In August 2016, Beyoncé and Jay-Z donated $1.5 million to civil rights groups including Black Lives Matter, Hands Up United and Dream Defenders. After Hurricane Matthew, Beyoncé and Jay-Z donated $15 million to the Usain Bolt Foundation to support its efforts in rebuilding homes in Haiti. In December 2016, Beyoncé was named the most charitable celebrity of the year. During Hurricane Harvey in August 2017, Beyoncé launched BayGOOD Houston to support those affected by the hurricane in Houston. The organization donated necessities such as cots, blankets, pillows, baby products, feminine products and wheelchairs, and funded long-term revitalization projects. On September 8, Beyoncé visited Houston, where she sponsored a lunch for 400 survivors at her local church, visited the George R. Brown Convention Center to discuss with people displaced by the flooding about their needs, served meals to those who lost their homes, and made a significant donation to local causes. Beyoncé additionally donated $75,000 worth of new mattresses to survivors of the hurricane. Later that month, Beyoncé released a remix of J Balvin and Willie Williams' Mi Gente, with all of her proceeds being donated to disaster relief charities in Puerto Rico, Mexico, the U.S., and the Caribbean after Hurricanes Harvey, Irma and Maria, and the Chiapas and Puebla earthquakes. In April 2020, Beyoncé donated $6 million to the National Alliance in Mental Health, UCLA, and local community-based organizations in order to provide mental health and personal wellness services to essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. BayGOOD also teamed up with local organizations to help provide resources to communities of color, including food, water, cleaning supplies, medicines, and face masks. The same month Beyoncé released a remix of Megan Thee Stallion's Savage, with all proceeds benefiting Bread of Life Houston's COVID-19 relief efforts, which includes providing over 14 tons of food and supplies to 500 families and 100 senior citizens in Houston weekly. In May 2020, Beyoncé provided 1,000 free COVID-19 tests in Houston as part of her and her mother's Number Itted Mipart initiative, which was established due to the disproportionate deaths in African American communities. Additionally, 1,000 gloves, masks, hot meals, essential vitamins, grocery vouchers and household items were provided. In July 2020, Beyoncé established the Black-owned Small Business Impact Fund in partnership with the NAACP, which offers $10,000 grants to Black-owned small businesses in need following the George Floyd protests. All proceeds from Beyoncé's single Black Parade were donated to the fund. In September 2020, Beyoncé announced that she had donated an additional $1 million to the fund. As of December 31, 2020, the fund had given 715 grants to Black-owned small businesses, amounting to $7.15 million donated. In October 2020, Beyoncé released a statement that she has been working with the Feminist Coalition to assist supporters of the EndSARS movement in Nigeria, including covering medical costs for injured protesters, covering legal fees for arrested protesters, and providing food, emergency shelter, transportation, and telecommunication means to those in need. Beyoncé also showed support for those fighting against other issues in Africa, such as the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon, Shut It All Down in Namibia, Zimbabwean Lives Matter in Zimbabwe and the Rape National Emergency in Liberia. In December 2020, Beyoncé donated $500,000 to help alleviate the housing crisis in the U.S. caused by the cessation of the eviction moratorium, giving $105,000 grants to individuals and families facing foreclosures and evictions. Discography. Solo studio albums. Dangerously in Love. B-Day. I Am. Sasha Fierce. 4. Beyoncé. Lemonade. Renaissance collaborative albums. Filmography. Tours and residencies.